guys, we're watching Detective Pikachu here. Um, I'm excited. We kind of missed it on the 10th. And oh my gosh, that line's long. Okay. There it is, the movie poster. Pokemon cards for ordering tickets. That roller coaster would be awesome. That roller coaster would be so cool to go on. Actually, I'm not watching Secret Life of Pets 2, no. A live-action Dora movie?
Thrilling family adventure, Dora and the Lost City.
A live-action Dora movie.
This movie follows the beloved character, Dora, as she embarks on her most dangerous adventure yet.
We're gonna die out here. There's no need to overreact.
Movie.
The magic of movies has impacted the lives of so many people, just as the people found
Sonic the Hedgehog. Wait, did they actually fix it? Is this the fixed design? Please let it be the fixed design. Oh, no, it's not fixed. Oh, okay.
Gotta go fast.
Minutes ago, an energy surge knocked out power across the entire Pacific Northwest. This needs someone who can figure out exactly what we're dealing with.
You're not suggesting who I think you're suggesting.
You're suggesting Jim Carrey.
I have no choice.
What? Are you in charge here?
I found what I think might be... I think this might be my new favorite movie of all time. I think this is definitely my new favorite movie of all time. We watch it in 3D. See why I want to watch it in 3D? And I think after this movie, I think Mewtwo might be my new favorite Pokemon. Hey guys, I'm Dragon Fangs, and I saw Pokémon Detective Pikachu yesterday, and I'm doing a review now. That movie was so good. And, apparently, we got free Pokemon cards for it. We got Detective Pikachu, another more lol, and we got 2 tickets. My dad went with me, got another Detective Pikachu, and another Snubbull, so I got doubles, but it's fine. But that I cannot get over how good that movie was. That movie was so much better than both Goosebumps movies. It was better than all 3 Cars movies. If you don't know, I love those movies. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I would be doing a review. I will warn you, there are going to be spoilers in this review. So if you don't want it to be spoiled, then don't watch. So I'll be starting going on what happens. So basically, it starts out with it's like a little lab. It's like it goes over a hill and it's like a little lab, and they've like experimenting on like a Pokemon. It's like a little like window, and then you look, and Mewtwo is like in there, just like asleep like that. And he's being experimented on, and then this like purple stuff like goes through some tubes and stuff, and apparently they're like at first you don't know what is happening. But then there's like an alarm goes off and something goes wrong and it all flashes red and Mewtwo wakes up and cracks the glass and he bursts through and he flies out and you see this car driving out and you don't know who it is, but then you see Mewtwo chasing it and the car is about to go near a bridge and then Mewtwo like attacks the car and the car flips over and crashes, so Mewtwo causes a crash. And then it goes to the main character, Tim, who is with his friend, and they're like in this field, and they see a Cubone, and Tim's friend's like, come on, dude, that's the perfect Pokemon for you. And he gives him a Pokeball, and Tim goes out, he tries to catch him, and with the Pokeball, that Pokeball looked, I'm seen toy Pokeballs that looked better than the one in the official movie. It didn't look that great, but it was like the here I have a Pokeball for example, like where this black would be, like here, it was flashing, and the middle was like a light. Ooh, like a sorry, it was like a light, and it was like flashing yellow. He's like, I did it, I caught him. And he's like, wait, the light's not turning green. And it was orange, or it was yellow, then yellow, and then Cubone popped out, so he didn't catch him. And Cubone was really angry. He was all growling, and then his friend's like, run! Because apparently in Rhyme City, if you don't catch a Pokemon, Pokemon gets angry and chases you. You know, in the games, you just try again. It's my little cat. So they ran out and they have a little conversation, and then he got a call, and then Tim gets a call on his phone, which a little Easter egg. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's a little Easter egg where the phone, it was like the top and bottom. It looked like Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons. Look, get out here. So it was like the top of it was the red Joy-Con. It even had the little designs, and then the bottom of it was a blue Joy-Con. And it looked like a Switch. It's really creative. They got a call from the police department, and it shows to him and another dude. And they're talking about how that dude in the car crash that Mewtwo caused, Mewtwo killed Tim's father. And Tim's all upset and stuff. And then they have an argument, and then the dude gives Tim the keys to his apartment and like a card or his address. And when he goes to the apartment, he opens like some mail thing and he closes it. And then the female character, who later on we learn is Lucy, she like talks to him a little bit, and he's all like trying to ignore her and stuff. And he goes up into his dad's office, and he's all like looking around and stuff. And he hears actually in the Easter egg, he hears a TV on, and he looks, and I forgot what the movie was called. It was the black and white movie from Home Alone, where it's like, keep the change, you filthy animal. And that movie was playing, so there's a Home Alone Easter egg in there. And then he hears a noise, and like he hears a noise in a room, and he checks. And he's like little scattering, and then he grabs the stapler and he's like, I have a stapler and I know how to use it. And then it shows Pikachu hiding, like peeking out, and he's like, okay, I know you can't understand me, but put down the stapler or I will electrocute you. And they, you know the trailer, and they like meet up and then stuff. And apparently Pikachu's been living in there. And so yeah, they go to bed, and they wake up, and Tim goes into a room and sees Pikachu all like stressed out and messed up. All his clues are on the ground, unorganized and stuff. And then they find like a newspaper, and Pikachu then just finds out that he's dead. And then they go to like a bar, or then they actually, somewhere around there, they find the tube from the purple stuff that was at the beginning with Mewtwo, and Tim accidentally lets it loose, and some A-Palms get angry, and then the A-Palms just keep on chasing him. Like the A-Palm, yeah. So after this, they go to the coffee, and then so basically it was he also the clues, and he saw a newspaper, and they went, and they went coffee, and then they went back, and then the A-Palm attacked. And then the A-Palm was chasing them, and they barely escaped. And everyone thought Tim was crazy and stuff. And, so then, crap, I kind of forgot how the order went. So then that happened. And then it went to, like, a news thing. And I forgot a lot about... I have to watch it over again. I watched it yesterday, so I kind of forgot some of it. So I just cut to the scene where it was like they found a secret underground base, because you're not supposed to have Pokemon battles in Rhyme City. but they're having secret battles. And then it was Gengar versus Blastoise, and it was like really awesome. I watched it in 3D, so these battle scenes were so awesome. And then Gengar wins. And you might have seen a clip like this that was leaked. But then there's like a dude who walks out with a Charizard, and he's like, "Hey, that Pikachu beat my Charizard. I want a rematch." And they do a rematch, and Pikachu's in there. He's like, "I've dealt with this before." But then the dude secretly has some of those tubes of the purple stuff, which turns Pokemon evil. And he gives it to the Charizard. So then the Charizard turns evil, and then Pikachu's like, "Oh my goodness, I can't do this." And Pikachu freaks out, and then he literally, Pikachu curses. He's like he sees the Charizard running, and he's like, "Get me the hell out of here!" And he's freaking out and stuff. And then, so technically, I guess hell could be kind of as a curse word. I don't really think of it as a curse word, even in, like, that kind of thing. But then, they have battle, Pikachu and Charizard, and then, Tim, like, Pikachu can't do it because Charizard's evil, and then Tim goes into the battle and helps Pikachu. He, like, grabs on, and then the owner of the Charizard goes out, and he's like, "Stop it!" And then Charizard's tail knocks out the dude, and he's like, "Uh-oh, this can't be good." And he stands up, and all the purple stuff from the tubes, like, leaks out, and it gets all the Pokemon, and all the Pokemon turn evil, and a Magikarp splashed, like, broke out of his tank. And then Pikachu's like, "Here, Magikarp can turn to Gyarados, or Gyarados, however you pronounce it. With just a little kick," and he, like, just picks him up and just throws him, and it doesn't work. And he's like, "In my head, I saw it differently." And then they're, like, battling and stuff, and then all of a sudden, you look, and Charizard, like, bends down, he's, like, he's, like, scared, and he turned around, and then there's Gyarados, or Gyarados, I don't know what you guys pronounce it as. And he's so, like, I didn't realize, but Gyarados is so giant compared to Charizard. Like, he was, like, so big. And Charizard was just, like, Charizard looked tiny. And then Pikachu's like, "Damn, I can't float." And then they, like, burst out. And then this thing confused me, where it was, like, when they splash out and they're, like, on the ground, then a police officer comes up and says that Tim's under arrest. But then it cuts to him with the person who gave him the address and the keys to the apartment. It was weird. And then they meet Lucy, and then they find clues and stuff. And they secretly go into the base where the Mewtwo was. And then, so they go into Mewtwo, and then they're, like, exploring around. And then they see, like, a bunch of experiments. Like, there's a Pokemon I forgot the name of, because I never knew him. It was, like, there's, like, tiny pieces of land on the, I don't know what it's called. But that happened, they were trying to evolve, and it wasn't working. Well, and then they find, like, 4 little tubes of Greninjas, who are just not dead. They're just dead. And, the people who worked at that place saw them, and, so Pikachu and Tim go to a hologram, and then they find out that, Mewtwo, like, they see Mewtwo causing the crash and stuff, but then they see, like, Mewtwo doing something, and they see that Mewtwo is the reason that Pikachu had amnesia, because he did have amnesia, and it was because, Mewtwo erased his memory. And then, gosh, it's so hard to explain. I gotta see it again. It's been a while. I think I'll do like an updated, like, another review when the DVD comes out, so I can rewatch it, like, as many times as I want. So then, like, then this part, starts becoming like horror movie scenes or like thriller movies, where something happens and the Greninjas, like Lucy looks and she has like a flashlight. And she looks into the tube, and in the and you just see in the tube, and you just see Greninja hand just, you see like Greninja's hand just go through the tube, and that actually made me jump. And then this thing becomes a horror movie, and Tim goes, and like the tubes open, and the Greninjas get loose, and you see them like peeking around, like it was like so, it's kind of creepy. It was a horror. It was like a horror movie at that part, and so Tim goes back and he's like, uh-oh, the Greninjas are out. And then there's like snot or something that just like lands on Pikachu's hat. And he's like, oh, gross. And they look up and Lucy's tied up by what looked like Greninja's tongue. And then they like put a fire alarm, which like let them go. And then Tim, and they're all running and trying to get out, and it was like awesome. I'm happy I saw it in 3D. And then they got out, and the Greninjas like couldn't follow them or something. And then this next scene at first just really confused the heck out of me. Like I didn't understand what was going on, but then I understood later on. So it was like then just the ground just like went like just like that, and it was like trying to be a V shape. And they were like falling, and they were like falling down, and they like kind of like they like got caught on like a couple sticks, and they look up and they see just a boulder just rolling down, so they all let go so they don't get hit by the boulder, and they grab onto a tree and they like climb on it, and the boulder goes past them, and they like do parkour over some trees, and it's really awesome. But then they fall and stuff. Basically, it was those land Pokemon I don't remember the name of. It started with a T, I don't know. It might come back to me later. But then in the process of that, Pikachu gets injured. So, Tim's like crying and stuff, and he's like, I'm sorry I was being mean to you, and stuff like that. And, then they find like then the Bulbasaur comes up, and then Tim's like, help, please bring us to a healer Pokemon. And then Lucy's like, they can't understand you, whatever. And then a bunch of other Bulbasaurs, like lead him. And they didn't want Lucy to follow for some reason. So Tim was following a bunch of Bulbasaurs, and they led him to Mewtwo. And there were like a bunch of Morlulls also. But then they brought him to Mewtwo, and at first he's kind of freaked out, but then Mewtwo healed Pikachu, and turns out Mewtwo is a good guy. And then they get caught by Mewtwo gets caught by the people from the lab at the beginning, and then Pikachu like gets upset that he betrayed him and stuff, and then Pikachu gets upset because he there was another hologram showing that Pikachu like ran away, and Pikachu was so upset that he betrayed his father that he decided to leave Tim, and Tim, Lucy, and Psyduck, which if you don't know, Lucy's Pokemon was a Psyduck. They went away, and then this really funny scene from the movie. My dad and I laughed at that. But then Pikachu was so sad. He was singing the Pokemon theme. He was like, I want to be the very best, like no one else. He's just like, Pokemon, catch 'em all. And it was so funny. My dad and I laughed because my dad's not that big of a Pokemon fan. Like he barely knows anything about Pokemon. But he knew the theme song, so it was funny. So then he sees like, wait a minute, he's like, I recognize this place. Oh, that's where Tim's dad died. And then he sees a Greninja star. He's like, what? And turns out he realizes Mewtwo actually, spoiler alert, this is the spoiler, Mewtwo is not the bad guy. Mewtwo actually tried to protect them. It was Greninja that supposedly killed him. And Mewtwo, then what Mewtwo did was he actually transported, like he transferred, oh, excuse me, Harry Goodman, Harry is Tim's dad's name, so Harry's, like, soul into Pikachu. So basically, Pikachu is Tim's dad. That's the big spoiler, that's the big thing in the movie. So while his body died, his soul in him. And then Tim and Lucy go to the parade, and then Tim tries to go see Roger so he can find Mewtwo, because he found Mewtwo. And Roger, oh crap, there's a scene I forgot to mention. Whatever, it's fine. So Roger's the bad guy, and the reason he wanted Mewtwo so he could transfer their minds. So then, later on, not Roger, it was, not Roger, what was this? There was a dude, I forgot his name. There's a dude who, his mind was inside Mewtwo, and he started terrorizing the sound. So it turns out the balloons from the parade were filled up with those tubes of the purple thing, but they called the R, because there was the R logo, which I think might be a reference to Team Rocket. I could be wrong, but maybe not. So then, the balloons are filled with that gas, and it's a big parade. And then Mewtwo gets out, and the dude inside Mewtwo gets out, and he's like, "We have found out a way to evolve humans by merging them with Pokemon." And then he just released all the gas, which the Pokemon and the humans breathe in the gas, which caused them to form together. And it was so weird. And then Lucy got formed with Psyduck, and it was like this big awesome action scene. And then Pikachu found his way in there. And he realized Lucy was inside up because he can talk to Pokemon. And then, like, Mewtwo finds him. And then Mewtwo and Pikachu have a big battle. And then Roger has, like, sunglasses. And Tim sees Roger. No. What happened was, Tim was about to open the door, and Mewtwo, or the person inside Mewtwo, is like, "Don't open that," and he opens it, and then there's the actual Roger. He looks, and he sees another Roger with sunglasses. And then he takes off his sunglasses, and his eyes are just, like, black. And Tim's like, "You're a Ditto!" Because apparently Dittos can take forms of humans. I did not know that. And then the Ditto formed into Lucy, and then Lucy and, like, Tim, like, Lucy's like, no, Tim's like, "I will not fight, I don't care what you turn into, but I will not fight you, I will not fight the person I'm attracted to." So, you know, he's attracted to. Then Pikachu and Mewtwo have, like, a fight, and Pikachu's like, "Wait, Tim said the Volt Tackle is my strongest attack." That was seen from the battle. And then he used Volt Tackle to knock out Mewtwo. And then, so then it was like Mewtwo had Pikachu by the, like, head. And then he was like, no, so then the Ditto, like, kind of knocked him out. And the Ditto kept transferring other Pokemon. And then Tim was hanging out of, like, the skyscraper building. He was, like, freaking out because he's about to fall. And then the Ditto turned into a Cubone. And then Mewtwo's like, "Finish him!" Which might be a Mortal Kombat reference. I don't know. Then Cubone has a little bone. He's, like, he's, like, poking it. And then, right when he was about to fall off, the real Roger just smacked Cubone, and Cubone went flying. Or the Ditto went flying. And Roger helped him. And then Mewtwo had Pikachu by the, like, the neck. Like, I don't know, he was playing on my neck. He was like, "Pikachu cannot beat a Mewtwo." And then Pikachu's like, "I wasn't trying to defeat you. I was trying to distract you." And then Mewtwo's like, "What?" He looks to his right, And then Tim, like, takes off the headset so the dude's not inside Mewtwo's body anymore. He's like, wait, don't do that! And then both Pikachu and the real Mewtwo fall down, and Tim's like, Pikachu, no! And right when he's about to fall down, right he's about to die, Pikachu just starts floating, and he, like, slowly goes down because Mewtwo helped him. And it turns out Mewtwo was the good guy, and then the bad guy got arrested and stuff, and all the humans were separated, and, excuse me, and Mewtwo's like, I almost fixed everything, but the only thing I haven't fixed yet is your father. And Tim's like, yeah, you still gotta do that. And, the biggest reveal of the movie, the biggest reveal is not that Mewtwo is not the bad guy, even though that is a pretty big reveal. The biggest thing is that Tim's dad was, in fact, inside Pikachu. And Tim turns around, like, and here dude's saying, hey kid, here you go. And, you look over, and then you see Ryan Reynolds, the actual Ryan Reynolds, like, himself, not just Pikachu, but, like, himself. He gives him a card, and then Tim, like, walks away, and Tim's like, hey, Dad? Because he knows Ryan Reynolds' dad. And then, I'm sorry, I had to take a break for talking so long. But then he's like, hey, Dad, can I stay with you for a while? And then Ryan Reynolds is like, yes, I would love that. And they live happily ever after. And then the awesome theme song plays and stuff. I showed the outro. Overall, I would give this movie a 9 out of 10. Even though it's my new favorite movie of all time, I would still give it, no, I would not give it a 10 out of 10. There is not a single movie in the world I would give it 10. There's not a perfect movie in the world. This was very close to being perfect. It would have been perfect if there's only one thing that I would change about it. The one thing I would change is I would make it a Pokemon movie. You may be asking, well, what do you mean it's a Pokemon movie? Actually, it's more of a detective movie. I mean, yeah, I guess it's called Detective Pikachu. But it just seemed, I don't know, like, I feel like you don't have to be a Pokemon fan to watch this. I mean, it would make a lot more sense. I mean, my dad was so confused about how stuff was going on. But it was just not that seemed like a Pokemon movie. I don't know. But it was a great movie. I loved it. It was so awesome. I would definitely recommend if you're a Pokemon fan. And if you're not a Pokemon fan, I mean, I guess I recommend it. But you might not enjoy it as much as a Pokemon fan. But it was so good. Just watch it. You'll probably enjoy it. I have not seen a single bad review on it. And hopefully, I don't know. I feel like this might be the first, this is going to be, I'm 100% sure this is going to be the first successful video game movie. There's been plenty of video game movies that I've enjoyed. Like, I've enjoyed the Mario Bros. Movie. I enjoyed Mortal Kombat. Both of them. I enjoyed freaking, I don't know, the Resident Evil movies. The Tomb Raider, all the Tomb Raider movies. I enjoyed Assassin's Creed. Need for Speed. I enjoyed those. And I definitely enjoyed this one too. And hopefully, I'll enjoy the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Which, fun story, the Sonic movie trailer appeared before the movie. And so did they're making a live action Dora movie. Seriously, they're making a live action Dora movie. Like, why? Why are they doing this? So yeah, great movie. Definitely watch it. I've been talking for way too long. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys later. Goodbye. That's not. Hold on. Goodbye.